for the serious gamer.
Hey, it's Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics. This is our Team Deathmatch Tactical Approach video series, and this is Favela. My class setup for this one is the M16 with red dot, the 1887s with akimbo, claymores, stun grenades, scavenger pro, stopping power pro, and ninja pro. My kill streaks have been set to predator missile, harrier strike, and chopper gunner. Now, when I'm playing Favela, I sometimes mix it up between using the ACR and the M16 class. The reason why I like the ACR, even though it's weaker, in damage than the M16, the automatic firing mode is very helpful in Favela. There's a lot of tight corners. Even if you're doing a tactical approach, which is, camp and move, you still are required to move within these tight corridors, and having an automatic weapon is helpful. But then again, that's why I also have the infamous overpowered 1887s, which, by the way, have been recently patched. And I'm still able to blast people's heads off. So regardless as to whether they've been patched or not, 1887 akimbo is still a great weapon to wield. Now, you'll notice in this one, because I'm going on rooftops, when you're on rooftops, there's a lot of sort of medium distances that you've got to cover, and that's why I like to use the M16. It's a 3-burst shot, and if you're able to nail them, without too much problem, if they're just sitting still, the 1 burst should drop them. But, I mean, as long as you pulse it, normally within 2 shots, if you're not horrible aim, which sometimes I am, my accuracy is not the greatest, then you should still have no problems forcing them into a dirt nap. So, as you can see, I mean, I've been in this middle building here for quite some time, and while if you want to camp something, don't stay in the same position. If I'm staying above in that area there, I've killed enough people and pissed off enough people, quite frankly, that someone is going to come looking for me. So even just something simple like what I'm doing here, which is dropping to the lower level, they're gonna, those other dudes that I killed are gonna be looking at that top level. So drop down, make some more kills, but once you've done that, you've pretty much cleared that building, and that's also why I get out of there. I get out of there to launch the predator missile because while I'm launching it, there's bound to be 1 or 2 people coming for my head. And I don't want to be stuck in that building no matter where. There's no real cover for me to launch a predator. I mean, I may have been able to launch it, but someone could have easily entered and killed me. So this area here is actually great for launching your specials and everything. You just crouch down. Yeah, people will look in there, but as long as you're prone, typically everyone bypasses that bathroom there. Even if they're right there, they're just going to go outside because they want to access the rooftops. So use that. Now you notice I'm sort of camping it out in there. The reason why I camp it out is if you're wanting that kill streak, that 11 kill streak, or whatever it is that you set it to, when you have something like a harrier, there's no point in running around like a madman because you're going to risk losing it. So take some time to sort of hide a little bit, especially if you're going for a tactical nuke. Don't worry about people whining about camping because you'll have the last laugh when you obliterate everyone with either the tactical nuke or the chopper gunner. So, as you can see here, I've returned to the center building. For me, being in the center allows me, particularly this building here, gives you sort of the capabilities of going 360. Yes, you're sort of more susceptible to getting killed because they can access this area here a lot easier. I mean, from the top, from the ground, from the windows, and also you're highly susceptible. But it gives you, as long as you're sort of constantly watching your surroundings and not getting too sort of tunnel visioned on one particular area, then you should be all right. And that's why also I use claymores, because you can't possibly watch every single area here. Now, granted, I got a bit lucky there, and I die here. So you got the chopper gunner. I'm not too worried. I mean, I go in the corner here. Again, this seems like a foolish place. Unless they come from behind, no one's going to check in that corner. It's kind of an odd place to be, and that's why I also do it. I mean, it's not always the best place to find this hidden little corner. Sometimes just some weird random places where no one usually goes to hide or no one usually looks is a great place to engage in this sort of chopper gunner or AC-130. I know a lot of people seem to have problems with the chopper gunner. They say they can't they can't focus in on it. It's a lot easier. Sometimes it just, you have to control it. Now the camera's constantly moving back and forth in these, but you get used to how much it actually moves. So you'll learn to adjust it, because the camera with the chopper gunner can seem a little erratic, like it's swinging all over the place. You learn to make fine adjustments so that you can focus that shot on there a little bit better. It's just something that you get used to. The more chopper gunners you get, the better you're going to get at using them. Now, of course, this area here I don't like staying in. I consider that a transition area. I do not like staying in transition areas, which means there are areas where there's multiple ways of accessing the particular area you're in, and therefore it's dangerous because there's no possible way. Even though I said in the center that, you know, it's dangerous, it gives you a better vantage point in order to get kills, whereas this area that I'm on top of, it only gives you that forward facing area. So I don't consider that to be a very smart move. Make your kills and move on. Don't stay in there, because the second that they know that you're in there, they're going to come hunting for you, and you're way too susceptible. Alright, sometimes I go a little nuts like this. It's my version of teabagging. When I kill someone, sometimes I like to just continuously blast and decimate their body. I'm hoping that they can see it on the kill cam, but it's not always the case. I like to think that they can. I mean, I've never really checked it. Obviously I can't, because I'm the crazy psycho that does it. Anyway, when I make a kill, you can see that, you know, like I've made a kill up there, and I don't see anyone on the back there, even though someone did spawn there later. And I just make a quick check to make sure no one's going to flank me, because obviously I'm using the 18s, and they're not silenced by any means. So you got to just make sure that it's clear. This area here, just as on the bottom... Oh, epic jump fail. Now, unless you have Commando Pro on, don't jump off of buildings like my dumbass just did. Okay, because you will die, and then you'll have to do it over. You know, sometimes I forget what my settings are, because normally in not search and destroy, in Deathmatch here, I don't normally put Ninja on. I mean, you're running around all crazy. What's the point of having Ninja on? Someone with a heartbeat sensor, if they're foolish enough to put it on a high-paced game like this, you know, they're looking at their little screen to see a heartbeat. Next thing you know, they're pushing up daisies. So normally I would have switched it. I don't know why I put it on there. If it's a run and gun class like in Derail, such an open map, then I would put Ninja on, just because, you know, when you're running through the snow, they can typically hear it. I don't know, if I'm running and gunning, I don't want them to know that I'm trying to flank them. Anyway, that was an epic fail. The same sort of thing. I mean, it's hard, whether you're doing tactical or not. You still want to try and move around. There's certain areas that you can stay in Favela, like I said, the center, or any other building, like even this one straight ahead, right where I'm shooting in. You can camp those buildings for a certain period of time, but you don't want to stay in there too long, because eventually they're going to come looking for you. Again, tactical wise, like if you're gonna launch a Predator, AC-130, chopper gunner, that little valley there, or whatever the hell it is a good place to launch it. Again, people aren't going to necessarily search there. If they see your head popping up, sure, they're gonna come looking for you, but if you just lie down in there, don't shoot anyone, you can easily launch chopper gunner, AC-130, or whatever it is. Now, I actually like this building here. I like this building here because it's easily defendable. You put a claymore on the rear in the back entrance there, and I mean, if they have lightweight, they can run by, but it's still going to trip. Maybe you have a bit of time, but in most probability, someone's going to bite it there. I mean, sure, there's going to be the odd person that's going to be able to go straight through it and run through it, no problem, and I forget what the perk is that sort of delays it. Nonetheless, you know, I normally would stay in there and try and get some kills. Again, sweeping the outside, especially if I have the M16, I don't want to be entering the corridors. I mean, I have the 18s, but I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. For more strategies and tactics on Modern Warfare 2, visit NextGenTactics.com.